In this video, I will go over 10 basic terminal commands. The first terminal command that we will look at is ls. ls stands for list. It lists computer files and folders. So we will type ls and press enter. And this will show us all of the files and folders that we have at the current directory. When we type ls and library, this will show us the contents of the library folder. But when we type ls again, it will show us the files and folders of the root directory again. Next combination that we will look at is ls-a. -a will show us the files and folders, regular files and folders as well as the hidden ones. Now anything that begins with dot, and if you remember from the last video if you watched, that we created a .vimrc file. Now this is a hidden file, and this begins any of the hidden files and folders begin with dot. Next combination that we will look at is -l. -l gives us additional information about each file and folder. Here we have the name of the file and folder with time, date, and month, how much size that folder is taking, and these right here are the permissions. These are the read, write, and executable permissions. Next that we will look at is the combination of the previous two, -a and -l. And here it will give us the additional information about regular as well as the hidden files. Next we will look at -g. What this will do is it will colorize the files, folders, and the executables in different colors. Now over here we can see that all of the folders are in blue. But when we do -ga, which will also show us the hidden files and folders, now we can see the .vimrc is in gray or white color because these are files. There are more ls combinations, but these are the ones that I mostly use. Next command that we will look at is cd. cd stands for change directory. You can type cd and just simply press enter, but it won't do anything, and it will still be here because it does not know which folder it's entering. So we will do cd and library, and what this will do is it will go inside the library folder. And now when we press ls, it will show us all of the contents of the library folder. Now what we will do is we will enter the dictionaries folder again, and now we are inside the dictionary folder. Now in order to go one step back, what we will need to do is we will need to type ... and /, and this will bring us a step back, one folder back, and it will bring us right here. Now when we type ls, we are inside this folder. So, but what I will do is I will go inside the dictionaries folder again so I can show you one more thing. And now we are inside, we are two directories inside before we can come to this. So in order to come directly right here, what we will do is, one thing that we can do is we can just simply type cd and press enter, and this will just bring us right here. Or another thing that we can do is we can do /, /, and /, and when we press ls and press enter, this will show us, this will bring us right here to the root directory. And again, if you were to do library and dictionaries, and that's another thing that we can do with cd, we can have multiple different combinations that there's a folder inside a folder, and we can just list it just like how I did it right here. And what this will do is this will just directly jump to that directory instead of having to go enter one directory and then choose another one. So this will bring us right here again, and when we type cd, what this will do is, again, it will bring us back to this root directory. And now when we press ls and press enter, and this will show us the root directory. Next command that we will look at is mkdir, mkdir, and this stands for make directory, and we will create a folder called test folder, and we will press enter, and this will create a folder called test folder, which is right here. And we will go inside this folder by doing cd space test folder, and we will do ls just so we can see what it's inside, and there's nothing because we just created this folder. Now we will create more folders, and we can create multiple different folders in one go, and we can create these by typing megdir folder 1, folder 2, folder 3. And if you wanted our folders to have space, then we could do, then what we will do is we will have the quotation, double quotation marks, folder name, space 1, and folder, and space 2, and press enter. And when we do ls, this will show us all the folders that we just made with this command, and all of these are right here: folder 1, folder 2 with spaces, and folder 1, 2 and 3 without spaces. Next command that we will look at is pwd, which stands for print working directory, and it prints the full path name of the current working directory, as you can see right here. Fifth command that we will look at is called touch, and touch creates file. So we will create an empty file called empty file1, and when we type ls, it will show us all the files and folders that we have. And when we do vim empty file1, it will let us inside this file, and we will press escape :q so we can exit out of this. And just like how we were able to create multiple different files in one go, folders in one go with megdir command, we can do the same thing with the touch command, and we can do file1, file2, file3, and we can also create file names that have spaces in between them: file space 1, file space 2.txt, and file 3.txt, and press enter, and this will create all these files. And when we do ls-g, we can see that these are all of our folders, and these are the files that we just created: empty file, file1, file2.txt, file3.txt with space, file1, 2 and 3. Next command that we will look at is cp, which stands for copy, and the format for copy is we will have the source file or the folder, but for now we will just do the file first, and then we will have the destination. So the source file will get copied, and then it will be copied over to the destination file. So an example of this will be, we will open the file vim file1, and we will enter some text here, and we will save this. Now we will do cp file1, and we will name it file1 underscore copied. And now when we do ls-g, we can see that we have the file1 copied right here. And now when we do file1 copied and press enter, we can see that the file gets copied over. Now one other way that we can also copy is we can have the copy in that same folder, or if you want, we can also have that copy inside another folder. So what we can do is, so for that what we will do is so I will leave the same name as is, and all I need to do is just give it a name of the folder, which in this case is this folder right here. So I will do cp file1, and this is the file that we're copying, and we're copying it to inside this folder, and it will be named file1 copied. And we will press enter, and then we will go inside this folder, folder 1, and we will do ls so we can see what the contents are. And when we do vim file1 copied and open it, and it gets copied right here. Another thing that we can do with this copy is we can copy the file in the folder that's previous to it, and in order to do that, which would be a folder back, and in order to do that, we will do file1 copied, and we have dot dot forward slash, and what that means is it's one directory previous to it. And over here we can call it anything, but I will just call it copied file1 underscore copied underscore copied. And when we do cd dot dot forward slash, it will bring us one directory back, and we will do ls dash g, and it will show us the file which is right here. And we will do vim file 1 copied underscore copied, and when we press enter, we can see that we have the file right here. So this is how we copy files. Now what we will do is we will try to copy an entire folder, and when we run ls and asterisk, the asterisk is a wildcard, and what the wildcard will do is it will show us the contents of each folder. So in order to copy all of the contents of one folder into the second folder, so we will copy all of the contents of folder 1 into folder 2. And what we will do is we will run cp-a folder 1, and we will do folder 2 and press enter. And now when we do ls and asterisk, again, which is the wildcard, it will show us that we have the folder 1 inside folder 2. So we will do folder 2, and here when we go inside folder 1, it will show us all of the files that we have inside the folder 1. Now we will move 2 directories back, and we will come right here again. And another thing that we can do when we are copying an entire folder is we can also use cp-a folder 1. And so right now this is how the directories look like. So folder 1 and folder 2, but when we do cp-a folder 1, and when we do forward slash, what that will do is it will just copy the files. So we'll have file 1 underscore copied and file 1 underscore copy in here. And of course, because we already copied the entire folder 1 already, we will also see that. So now we will just press enter, and now when we run ls and asterisk, we will see that we see, and this is the folder that we have from before, which was right here. And these are the files that just got copied over: file 1 file 1 underscore copied, and file 1 underscore copy. So just to clarify, when we have the forward slash in the source folder, what that will do is it will start copying inside the folder, which will be these files right here. But when we don't have the forward slash, what that will do is it will start copying from the source folder. So we will see the source folder, and then inside the source folder we will have the files. Next command that we will look at is mv, which stands for move, and it does two things. It can move files and folders, and two, it can rename files and folders. So we have this folder right here, which is folder 1, and what we will do is we will type mv space folder 1, and we want to change the name of this folder from folder 1 to folder space 1. And we will have the double quotation marks and then the name of the folder, and then we will press enter. And now when we type ls and press enter, we can see that the name got changed from folder 1 to folder space 1. Now next thing that we will do is we will move folder 1 from here to inside folder 2. So right now when we do ls and asterisk, which is the wildcard, so right now inside folder 2 there's nothing. So when we do mv folder 1 and we will type folder 2, what this will do is it will move this entire folder inside folder 2, and then inside that folder 2 we will have the rest of the files. So we will go inside folder 2, and over here we have folder 1. And when we go inside folder 1, we can see that we have all of the files. File 1 copied, and file 1 copy. Next command that we will look at is rm, which stands for remove, and it deletes or removes files and folders. Uh, but this is slightly different from deleting files that go into the trash or the recycle bin, where we can still go and recover the files. What happens with RM is whenever we remove any of the files or folders with RM, it completely gets removed or deleted from the computer. I think there could be some ways to still recover the files, but I have not used any of those methods. So first, what I will do is I will show you ways how we remove files and folders, and then I will talk. Then I will mention some of the ways to safely remove files. So first thing that we will do is we will create some empty files. So we will create. We will type touch file 1, file 2, file 3, and this will create these empty files. And then we will create empty directories, and we can call these folder 1, folder 3, folder 4, and we will do ls-g just so we can see all of the files and folders that we have. Now when we want to delete a file, what we will do is we will type the name of the file that we want to delete. So we will do rm and the name of the file, and we will do file 2. So what will happen is file 1 and file 2 will get removed. But what I will do is I will just type file 1 just so I can also show you another thing. So this will remove file 1. Now when we do ls-g, it will only show file 2 and file 3. But when we do rm file and we have the asterisk after that, what this will do is, again, because this is a wildcard, what this will do is it will look for the combination that matches with file, and for the asterisk, anything that comes after the asterisk, it will remove that. So file matches the file that we have here, so files 2 and 3 will also get removed. Now when we do ls-g, we only see that we have the folder 1, folder 2, folder 3, and folder 4. Now in order to remove a folder, we have to type -rf, and we will have folder 1 and folder 2. And what this does is it will remove folder 1 and 2. And when we type ls, it will only show folder 3 and 4. Now, just like how we can run the wildcard to remove the files, we can run the wildcard on folders as well. So when we type rm-rf and folder and asterisk to run the wildcard, what this will do is it will remove all of the folders, and we will our directory will be completely blank. And now when we run ls, we don't have anything. Now I will mention two ways that make it safe to remove files. First method would be to set an alias for rm, and what that does is it will set an alias for rm. So instead of removing the file, what actually happens is the files get moved to the trash or the recycle bin. Personally, I have not used that method. I have only heard it from friends. But the second method, which I personally have used a lot, I will share that method with you. And that is so first thing that we will do is we will create some extra files, and then we will create some directories. Now let's just say that these are all the files that we want to delete, and we don't need these files. So what I will do is I will remove all of these files into this folder called to be deleted. So first I will move all of the files. So I will just run mv, and then I will just type the names of the files, and then I will just have the name of the folder. So we're moving files 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're moving these inside to be deleted, and we will just press enter. And when we do ls and asterisk, we can see that files 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 got moved inside to be deleted. Now, next thing that we will do is we will move the folders 1, 2 inside to be deleted. But let's just say for whatever reason we still needed for folder 3. So what we will do is we will run the folder command again, and we will do folder 2, and like I said, we will leave folder 3 as is, and we will just run this. And now when we do ls on to be deleted, actually I will do ls and asterisk. So right now we can see that we still have folder 3 right here, and we also have the to be deleted. And then inside to be deleted we have files 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we have folder 1 and 2. And when I'm done moving files that I think I don't really need, or and I just want to remove those files, then what I will do is I will just run one final rm-rf on that folder, and this will just completely remove the folder with all the files that we don't need anymore. Ninth command that we will look at is called cat, which stands for concatenate. It can concatenate multiple files. One, that's what it does, and second thing it can also do is it can also show you the contents of one or multiple files. So first thing that we will do is we will create a file, and then we will enter some text inside this file, and we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we will create a second file where we will have a b c d e f g h I j k l. Now when we do cat file 1 and cat file 2, what this will do is it will show us the contents of file 1, and then right below that it will have the contents of file 2. So as you can see that we have the contents of file 1 right here, which were numbers from 1 to 9, and file 2, which has the alphabets from A to L. Now what we will do is we will concatenate file 1 and file 2, and we will have the final file, the final concatenated file, into file 3. So now when we do file 3, we can see that all of the contents from file 1, which were just the numbers from 1 to 9, and the numbers from file 2, which were alphabets from A to L, were concatenated into this one file. 10th command that we will look at is called chmod. Chmod allows a person to change the permissions of files and folders. So when we do ls-l, which shows us which is a long listing format, right here, this is where we can see the permissions for this directory right here. This D right here is for the directory. The first three permissions are for read, write, and execute. This is for the user. So me, the user, I have the reading, writing, and executing permissions for this folder. The following three are for the group. So the group has the permission to read, but they cannot write. That's why there's a dash right there. And then X means that they also have the permission to execute. The last three are for others, that they can also read, but they cannot write, but they also have the permission to execute. So let's just say that we wanted to change the permissions for this folder, so no one can access this folder. So for that, what we will do is we will just type chmod 0 and folder 1. And now when we do ls-l, as we can see that all of the user group and others, all of the groups, no one has the permission to access this folder. So now whenever anyone tries to see the contents of this folder, no one can see what's inside this folder. And if someone were to enter this folder, they cannot enter this folder. Let's just say if someone wanted to delete this folder, again they can't and remove this folder either, and the permission gets denied. So what we will do is we will give it universal or all user access. So anyone can read, write, and execute this folder. So for that, we will do chmod 777, and we will type folder 1. And now when we do ls-l, we can see that the D for the directory, and me, the user, I have access. So I can read, write, and execute. And then the group has permission to read, write, and execute. And then others also have permission to read, write, and execute. So now when we do folder 1, it shows us the content, but because there's nothing inside that folder, it doesn't show us anything. But let's just say if you wanted to go inside this folder, it will let us go inside this folder, and we can just do pwd just so we can see that okay, we are inside folder 1, and we can come out of this folder. And now if you were to remove this folder 1, it will also let us remove this folder because we have the permission for it. Chmod has a lot of different variations. And depending on those variations, certain users groups and other people would have different sort of accesses for the files and the folders. And I think there are online calculators that can sort of help you determine which chmod number should be used. So different people would have limited or more access to files and folders. I will have a link to my GitHub README for these commands. And I can understand if this was a lot of information and it can be intimidating to look for files and folders without graphical interface. But I would say that once you start using the terminal, then you will start to learn it. I hope this video was helpful in showing you how to use some of the terminal commands. There are a lot more, but these are the ones I use the most in my workflow. In the next video, I will go over some Vim commands, and then in the fourth video, I will start coding in C.